Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am here on Friday because I don't know what to watch next on Fridays. I've been really struggling with it for a couple of weeks since we finished Jujutsu Kaisen. I've had this feeling like the next choice that I make really matters and I'm not sure what choice to make. We did some polls a little while ago and they're kind of messed up. A lot of the data isn't very useful, in part because people were confused by sort of a new polling thing that I tried to implement and that I won't be going back to trying to implement. But basically, I've got a whole bunch of information that I can't really glean insights from, and I'm not sure what to watch next. I could run another poll, and I might put one up today. Or I could just go and grab a single core show that'll be snappy and full of life that people are excited for, and just watch it on my own. Bam. Do it. But I don't really know, and I'm kind of stuck, and I'm kind of like in a rut or in a worried state. It reminds me a lot of staring at a blank piece of paper and not being sure what to draw on that paper, what to share with the world, what to express. And this feels similar. It's like a directional choice, and I don't know which choice to make. So, in the meantime, I'm going to pull something off the back burner, and we're going to do a wonderful one-off and make this a Fujimoto Friday. We're going to watch one of the few works by Tatsuki Fujimoto that I have not engaged with yet, Look Back, which was adapted into anime by Studio Durian, who I'm also entirely unfamiliar with, just a little while ago, to wide regard. I think people really liked this film. It's like 58 minutes long. I believe that it is about the creation of manga and like collaboration and working on stuff together. And I'm wondering if, like he has done a couple of times before, Tatsuki Fujimoto's writing and viewpoint on creativity, on art, on film, on movies, on human creation will have an impact on me, will help me choose, help me decide which direction I want to go. That's what I'm hoping for here. Let me pull down the camera, draw something, and then we'll talk a little bit more. What the hell? I messed up my math somehow. Did I mess up again? Yep. Holy shit. That's crazy. Okay. Slowly but just gonna end it a little short. Woo. I have trouble thinking of anything quite as humbling as trying to draw a bunch of boxes and failing to measure them properly. Twice. Feels bad, man. So my drawing for today is a blank 4-coma panel. A starting point for many creatives, many mangaka. These panels, an opportunity to tell a little story, an opportunity to tell a joke. Something as a medium that I don't engage with very much, that I don't do a lot of, but I want to do more of. I'm really inspired by. I find really fascinating what can be done in small formats by someone with artistic intent. And I'm really curious what Fujimoto thinks of this medium. This sort of foundation or starting point for mangaka. This place that I feel has this air of childishness? That's weird to say because you can have a 4-coma manga that has a lot of depth to it, but there's an air of simplicity, of older things, of nostalgia, and combined with the title, knowing that this is about manga creation, knowing that it's about 4-coma, I wonder if that's what it's about, is looking back to that point of inspiration in childhood, looking back to that place where one decides or one realizes that they want to create. I wonder how that's going to tie into Tatsuki Fujimoto's own like mental image of what creation means, what it means to sit down in front of the blank paper and stare at it and fail to make it what you want it to be and struggle and do it over and try again and eventually what? I don't know. But I'm ready to look back with him and see what he's looking at. I'm not sure. Maybe it will help me see myself and my own past in a different light. Maybe it will help me understand the future a little bit better and make choices moving forward as far as what I want to create better. I'm not sure because I'm not sure what this show, this movie thing is really all about. Sometimes a Fujimoto thing says what it is on the surface and it's about something entirely different underneath that surface. Like Goodbye Area is about taking pictures with your camera and making movies, but it's not. It's about fucking vampires and time being all funked, and the medium is part of the message, and the reading of it and going back through it and finding out that there are pieces of it that don't line up and that there are multiple stories being told within the work ends up being this much more complex piece of work than just boxes on pages, and yet it is just boxes on pages. And from those come this incredible tangled up web of a story. Will this be the same, or will this be as simple as its subject matter would indicate? I don't know. I'm excited to find out, and I'm excited to stop waffling. I feel like I'm waffling here. Let's stop waffling. All right, waffling complete. I have the varig version of this. It should be all Amazon base subs and the way that everybody else has seen this film, but they may have been edited and made even better. Not sure. Hopefully everything is all good and we're not stuck with bad subs and stuff because I don't have the alternative. I don't have another option. And gosh, well, there's nothing to do here but to watch the thing. So let's dive into another piece of the strange mind of Tatsuki Fujimoto and find out what this piece of anime is. I've got the movie up and ready to go. There will be two versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on YouTube. Early access to whatever's next on the channel will be on the Patreon. Yeah, beep beep timer to count you down. Let's watch this movie. I should have a piece of paper for notes. Yeah, just in case. Okay. I looked up Studio Durian and I didn't see anything that I've seen before or even heard of. I saw a bunch of like one-off things. So I'm really curious who this studio is and whether they're going to knock this out of the park. Also, I believe this is a directorial debut for whoever's directing it. Sora. Letterboxd? I wonder if we will be all the way through, if that's just the frame. Okay, interesting. That's a lot of work. It's cute. It's a lot of work. That's a lot of manga. This reminds me so much of the opening episode of K-On! Just because of all of the objects in the space giving us, oh, and the mirror. I didn't see the mirror. They infuse us with information about the character, with attitude and vibe. We've also got a really distinct lighting and shadow style. Like the little highlights on everything really stand out to me. Oh, okay. Just me looking back. Wow. Catch by the wind, go blowing away? No, nothing so crazy. Oh, what are we doing? Oh, we're jumping into it. Oh, shit, okay. It reminds me of Azoken. Like creating the storyboards for the thing and then it comes to life. Oh, shit! The gong, gong, gong! Oh my god, all the on-screen text sound effects. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. I'll deal with it in post. I just, it feels very quiet to my ear. Smooch! Aww. Holy shit. God, those moving scenes are so crazy. Oh shit. Whoa! Okay, that is such a Tatsuki Fujimoto fucking thing to write. like dead mother explosion, bang! It's exactly like it. Holy shit. Everybody seems to be, yeah. So she's respected because of that. Oh, what a lie. It's really quiet. But that's what you do anyway. Okay, so anything is an option. Really interesting facial designs. Makes a lot of sense with Fujimoto's designs. That's our second character. Connection, right? She doesn't want to. It's her. Okay. Oh! Oh, you are a little spicy. Now, will the other girl get more praise than you do? Hmm. Is it better than yours? Oh. And we jump in. Oh, the mouse, sorry. Totally different style. The contrast, the contrast. Been blown the fuck out. Out of the water. Oh, so what do you do? On top of the world and brought low by comparison, right? Oh, whoa. Suddenly the expansion. That's beautiful. The layers on that whoa. Those aren't hers. Oh, wait, no, these are all different times when she's gotten praise. She's stuck. She hasn't been improving. This is okay. The detail level is really weird because it feels like it's off in the distance, kind of blurry, but then there's so much. Oh, that's why she's getting better than me. Like, look at the detail in these flowers and stuff. Wow. These are great translations of what I can see directly as Fujimoto gesture drawings. Hell yeah, Drawbox. Hell yeah, I got my stack of books right over there, and I've only read half of them. Yes! I feel it. I feel it. That's legit, man. Different things drive us, and this is one of the things that can drive us is, oh my god, I almost just started tearing up. What just happened? Oh, there I go. Yeah. It got to me. I have to turn it down. The music is swelling really hard. Just draw, stupid. And all this without having met the other character at all. Wow. Ah, fuck it. I should just watch. The stack of anatomy books outgrows the manga that she's seen. And the sketchbooks pile up. I know that feeling. But that one, the practice on foundations, I need to do. I know that. Hmm. Now I'll show her. So it's been a year. But she's distanced from what she loved about it, right? Hmm. Damn right. Like, are you still gonna breathe next year? You shut the fuck up. She's really beaten up, though. Hmm. Wow. So now we have this social pressure that says what you're doing is wrong. Creepy otaku. Hmm. And she's getting spikier and spikier. Until I fucking die. She only cares about the drawing. Which is awesome, but it's taken over. There's no person here anymore. And it all started with that comparison, that envy. Hmm. Okay, here we go again. Again. So we still have this separation. Summer Festival by Kyomoto is beautiful. She hates it. Wow, quietly, so nobody hears. Whoa. Just seeing somebody better than you. Fuck it, I'm done. I'm done. What's the point? Man, I have that feeling sometimes, especially when I see like a young animator who's just, so many years, light years beyond where I'm at. It's like, why even try? But then it haunts you, man. Used to draw, hard to admit that I used to draw. Isn't that the... No, it's very similar to the one from Dan to Dan. Finally, we're forced to meet! They never work together. So what does Kyomoto think of you? Are you her inspiration? And why doesn't Kyomoto actually come to school? Why is she truant? What's the reality here? Because it might be fucked up. Oh, you shouldn't, but you will. But you will, and the story needs you to. It's clean, it's nice. She's drawing, isn't she? Oh. Oh, the tension, man. Ah, same, same. Wow. Dozens and dozens more sketchbooks. You know that's her room. Oh, there's love in her in this moment. Whoa. That's brilliant. Hmm. It comes so naturally to her, and she lets it. Ah! Yeah, go into the door. Yeah. Oh, that's so great. We don't even get to see her. Oh, the chase! Sensei! You're her greatest inspiration. She looks up to you entirely. She doesn't do dialogue. She doesn't do dialogue. You don't do good enough art. We have a... Instead of hating each other, what if we fuck? I mean, work together. Mm-hmm. Just realizing that you're outside. Handesu. Huh? Huh? Oh my god, she's a real super fan. But she doesn't think her art is worth anything. Ah, both ways, huh? So there's the real chance to catalyze this into something brilliant and beautiful. But Fujino thinks, why'd you quit? Because yours are better. Lies, huh? You were a piece of work, Fujino. Uh-huh. The rain starts. Again, I'm really struck by these facial designs. I mean, CSM does a good job of capturing some of the more bombastic stuff that Fujimoto draws, but I've never seen a show nail down the really subtle gestury stuff. But it's all here. It's real. Right? It's all here. And then we have these 2D, 3Ds are so crazy. What are you doing, Fujino? It's almost like she's like willing herself in to be happy. Or like angrily frolicking. Urgh! that mo just giving it all is it it's so crazy how those land so immensely well. Yeah, I can feel them in my body. Back to drawing? Please. Oh, the water everywhere. It's like as soon as she got an excuse to go back to the art, boom. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Go into her house. Yep. Yeah, immaculate architecture stuff. Whoa, we've skipped ahead a lot. We've skipped a lot there. She's recruited her. She's doing the backgrounds. They're collabing. Whoa, we just skipped right over whatever conflict happened there or communication. That's amazing. We're off to the competition, I assume? Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're really becoming friends, huh? Oh, to get the contest. To see if they won. Whoa! They got runner up. They got runner up and they won 1,000,000 yen. I've got tears in my eyes. People following and achieving their dreams is like a straight shot to my heart. It's cool. I don't know if you could buy a house with that. Oh, off to the future. Oh, that's very funny. That's read Goodbye Airy. Oh, that's really funny. That mom exploded. What's gonna go horribly wrong? What's gonna go so goddamn horribly wrong? Because we're hitting a real high point here. Yeah. Can Fujino thank her for what she's done for her? I mean, in her heart, does she realize it? Whoa. We're still pulling her forward into the light. I feel like one of these characters is gonna die. Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Oh, God. What are we doing metaphorically here? Whoa. Mmm. Really discovering passion for background art. Oh, you already skipped to 17. I'm worried about her. I'm really worried about her. Oh. Without her. Can you do it on your own, Fujino? I don't think so. I don't think she thinks she can. She wants to be better. She's trying to dissuade her. We've got this dividing tree. Don't abandon me. Don't abandon me. But she can't say it with her heart. I need you. But you've come to rely on her. Don't. Hmm. All she wants is the art, yeah. Wow, we got a big ol' whack-em. Those are so expensive. Mm. Oh, shark cake. Mm. Up, down, it's all over. But she's doing it. She's serialized. She's 4 volumes in, she's writing it. It's selling. Wow. Wow. It's very Chainsaw Man coded. This is Totsuki's story, isn't it? Especially with his lack of drawing ability in the beginning. Or like that feel. She needs a background artist. There's one person you need. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not liking the news broadcast coming in. Just a fucking axe murderer? And she immediately worries that it's her. She has her number, yeah. She's gonna have to go. Maybe she'll be okay. And this will just connect them again. Oh man, that worry. We've just hit our turning point, man. She's gone, isn't she? Whoa, wow. Shark kick hiatus? Okay. What was the art I posted on the internet was plagiarized? I didn't understand that part. She's gone. What will Fujino... She always harbored a hope that they'd come back together, huh? Is that the room that they worked in together? Oh, it's her room. From back then. When she was buying and reading Shark Kick. Of course she was. Her bookmark, huh? Man, you were the most precious thing in her life. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Because of me? No, 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 no. If you hadn't inspired her, if she hadn't found art, she would have been dead already. And she would have never lived. God, that's fucked. God damn it, Fujimoto. Totsuki, what the fuck? Don't come out. Did that just time travel? Did we just time travel a piece of paper into the pastification? Holy shit, what? Are we about to H.G. Wells the time machine, it can't be stopped kind of thing this? Is she gonna get axe murdered in her own home anyway? What are we doing here? Totsuki, what are you doing here? So she doesn't make a sound, so she doesn't come in. It's all different. All because of that piece of paper. What? Uh-huh, yeah. The drawing ghost. Okay, so now we've got separate panels, and they're gonna go their separate directions. What are we doing with Fate and still sees the book, still wants to go to art school, still goes to the same art school, still gets axe murdered, right? Right? But now we get to follow her side of things. Wow. Wow. That really reminds me of a door in Chainsaw Man. But then what about the flip? Oh, axe murder. What about the flip side? Oh, wait, we're in manga panels now. Yeah, we're in manga panels now. Panel, panel, panel. Oh, this must be so different in format. Nope. Oh, the plagiarism. Uh, Running time, please. What? 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 Tatsuki, what? Tatsuki Fujimoto, what the fuck are you doing? Wait, she ended up going and practicing karate. She ended up practicing karate because her sister asked her about it. She didn't end up doing That is her, right? That's Fujino? I think... Oh no, you don't already have it. Fujino. And they end up meeting. What the fuck? So we look back at a point where Fujino thinks that she changed the past in a way that got her friend killed. And so she rips it up, and in that moment, the thing changes the course of history? Because you were better than me. Huh. Huh. What the truck? What the semi-trailer truck? Get her own little running scene. Scrap! Mmm. Oh, we had the reincarnated thing. And the reconnection together. And then the asteroid. What will you draw? Whoa, it's passing through the time travel door. Don't mess with the timeline, guys. Oh shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Look Back by Kyomoto. Impossible. In this timeline, in this moment, absolutely impossible. Are we going to glue them together with opening the door? There's no way. You can't step through time back into a different life. But what if you could? Oh man, we're doing another camera move. Pure void. Aww. As though it was a panel that blew down from the window off the tape, right? And blew in. But it's not. But it's fucking not. Wow, all of Shark Kick. Always right behind her while she works. Fair. Yeah. Yeah, why? It's so difficult. It's such an ordeal. It's so thankless. It takes so much time. You barely improve over time as you work. And what you create is unlikely to be seen or cared about by anyone. Why do it? But we do it. And some people can't live without doing it. Reading back through her own manga, huh? Alright, where are we going from here? That's really cool. There are so many strange shots that I think are really cool. Blank panels? Are we about to end? Oh, man. Man, Tutski. How do you leave this as like an open question? Like, instead of this story being wrapped up and tied up neatly, it's open. It's like, it's free floating. A piece of that, it has to force you to think of Toshiyuki Inoue. Oh, Ninuma. Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. Kiyotaka Oshiyama. Okay. Ninuma makes a lot of sense for some of the facial expressions and the big. Okay. I'm really looking forward to. I guess we'll look this up on Sakagaburu. I probably should. But something about leaving this story sort of unsolved. It gives me a bunch of hooks where my mind like catches on the story and then worms its way back into the story and comes up with new ideas. Like I get caught on the time swap situation, and it makes me think about how different things could have been and whether the Fujino that we're seeing is just imagining this heroic moment and imagining things being different. Imagining a world where she didn't bring her back into manga and her friend went off to art school on her own and she was there to save her. That was really interesting. It's a little dreamlike. It's a little hard to hold onto. It wants to slip out of my hands and out of my like my focus. I'm wondering if there will be something at the end. We've got 3 minutes left. I'm happy to sit here and let the credits roll. But I wonder if there will be something to tie it off. I feel like I'm familiar with Eriko Kimura as sound director. Dan to Dan. And Ping Pong, the animation. Oh. Corporation. Wacom. Yeah, they had to get the credit there. Well done, Kiyotaka Oshiyama. If this really is his debut, I think it's pretty incredible. Got a minute left on the timer. I expect it. Okay, it's just Netflix. Netflix names. Cool. We'll call it there. Wow. That was a lot of story packed into 58 minutes. I talked about it a little bit as we were fading out into the ED, but there's something about leaving it kind of unsolved or unwrapped up, unpolished almost, that lets my brain, as I look back on the hour of show that I just watched, I like catch on things that are a little weird or a little unexplained or a little unclear. And as opposed to a show that doesn't have a clear direction, that doesn't know what it's doing, and so chooses vagueness in order to be a veil for its lack of something to say, this one seems to say more through its vagueness. Seems to force... It's in dialogue with me. It's not a monologue where the show is monologuing at me and telling me what it has to say. Hey, I'm a show. I have to say that art's really cool and you should make your connections and stuff, right? Surface level, that's all there, but the show is not willing to say, I'm in control, this is what the show's about, here you go. Instead, it's in dialogue, and it's continuously almost asking questions of me. Like, what do you think is going on here? What do you think that scene in the past is? Is that really happening? Is that a different timeline of what could have been? Or is that in Fujino's mind what she's imagining as this heroic solution to the problem? Like, imagining her friend being in danger and she shows up heroically and saves the day, and then they can end up drawing together, and that was what she wanted the whole time in the first place. I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know exactly what it is. And so when I think back on it, my brain kind of catches there and has to reevaluate and has to dig a little bit deeper and has to think it through and has to ask more questions. And I'm in dialogue with the show suddenly. I'm in communication with Tatsuki Fujimoto across time and space. And he's not just saying, here's the idea, it's delivered unto you, there you go, right? Like, fight for what you believe in. Believe it, right? Like, oh, simple, straightforward, no need to do extra work. I'm not stuck on that. I take it in, I think, yep, I agree with that, and then I can move on with my life. I don't even know what I'm agreeing with for a bunch of the elements of this show. I don't know what the point is because it's not so explicit. It's much more human, much more like observing reality, and things happen without reason. In stories, an axe murderer shows up at a school and kills this girl because it fits the story, because she did something wrong in her life, because she made some bad decision, because karma, because the story needs poetic justice. And Tatsuki Fujimoto says, nah, shit happens. That just happened. It feels more like a random act of horror, of tragedy, of true tragedy. And that's something that Fujimoto brushes up against fairly frequently in his works. People die, and they die suddenly, and without explanation, and without it making sense, and without it being fair. But then we come back to it, and what is the reason for that death? What is the reason that that guy is swinging an axe around the art school? It's because he's been plagiarized. It's because his attitude toward his own art has been harmed by somebody else, right? It's not completely divorced from the kind of emotional experience that our characters went through when they were battling it out across the manga panels without even knowing that the person on the other side maybe adores them and idolizes them. It's like a bunch of anecdotes about working in manga, creating art, the drive necessary to do it, the industry, the way it feels, and the competition, the dog-eat-dog sort of competition that's happening. It all surrounds these characters, and then we fall back, to these long, extended montages of our characters just spending time working together, and there's light, and there are smiles, and there's passing the fuck out mid-drawing, but there's a joy to it, there's a beauty to it. Or scenes of our characters walking and running through space and making decisions as they're walking, having emotional experiences as they're going, and it's not quite clear what those emotional experiences are. Like, most striking to me is Fujino running in the rain, and she's like grunting and like angry, or she's super emotional, right? The valence of the scene is through the roof. It's so far in some direction, but I can't even tell what direction it is, right? I could watch that whole scene and layer onto it, wow, she's really excited and happy, and just going a little over the top. Or I could layer onto it, this is frustration bubbling out, right? Or I could layer onto it something weird, something kind of very difficult to explain. It felt like Fujino was like amping herself up into doing things again, into moving forward, into creating. And I don't know if any of those are even close to what Fujimoto actually intended for me to read out of the scene. This is a weird piece of work. It's helped in that weirdness by very strange, like, visual design that I think does the best job I have seen so far of capturing Fujimoto's style in animation. Especially for a work like this that's a little bit lighter and a little shiny, a little fun, a little kyoani. I think it really nails that. It's colorful and yet manages a sense of realism that isn't realism, but a sense like there's a real depth to these characters. I think part of that is a willingness to draw our characters in a way that's a little bit ugly. They have features, they have characteristics that aren't anime character attractive, right? Anime characters have like these very fine facial features and distinctive chins and distinctive mouths and distinctive eyes and all of that stuff. And our Fujino character has these fairly ugly bags under her eyes, and our other characters have like their faces don't read as anime characters. They read as people, tired people, sad people, human people, and that's Fujimoto's sort of gesture drawing coming through. But here it's like, it has some punch behind it too. It's not just the impact of his drawings. The sound design around it and the voice acting around it and the characterization, the way that the emotions come through the camera. And I don't know all the tricks in play that are making that happen, but the way the emotions come through the camera, they're really elevated. They're human. And sometimes shocking, sometimes hard to deal with, sometimes tough. Super interesting. There are a whole bunch of moments in this movie, let's call it, in this show, that go completely without dialogue, where I cannot imagine any other form of artist, like any other show, managing those sorts of interactions without dialogue. There are moments when, like, Fujino is reading through Makoto's manga early on, and is it Motoko? Ah, fuck. Early on, and getting like overwhelmed, realizing that she's better than she is, and it's all done non-verbally through facial expressions and cutting back and forth and showing us what she sees and then showing us how she's reacting to it. And the picture is crystal clear. She's having this amazingly intense emotional response to it. Whoa. As far as different shows are good at different things. Jujutsu Kaisen is really great at blowing your brains out with color-fucked animation extravaganzas, right? This is one of the best that I have ever seen at conveying the emotional state, not the words that are flowing through their head, but the emotional state that's going on behind a character's eyes through their eyes. Like through their face, through the way that they are expressing themselves, through the way the camera focuses on them. This does some of the best work in the industry, period. It's really impressive. I would love to see this director, given that this is a debut, I would love to see this director on dramas, yeah? On like intricate character-focused, dramatic shows. I think that would be amazing. I would love to see what they would do with a little bit more like mature feeling source material, like physically mature characters dealing with physically with mature topics. Like, I don't know. Okay, normally at this point, I would jump to the beginning of the episode, go through it, talk about things that I find interesting, and then circle back around to Sakagaburu at the end. I think after seeing some of those credits pop up, I think I want to go Sakagaburu now. And then when we run through, we'll have a better understanding of like who's delivering on those cuts. And I think that'll help us as we run through the whole thing. Let's pull up the Buru. Okay, so there are a couple of particular things that I'm really interested in. Facial expressions are one of those. The kind of goofy animated animanga scene, I see one right here, I think is another. And then the big sort of sweeping, the whole city is a flat plane and then it tilts and we zoom through and we wah. A couple of those are really distinctly the same person, and some of them might not be, but I want to figure out who's responsible for that. Okay. Let's start right here. And I'm also going to do, production materials. Oh, what? Okay, unfortunately, loading production materials is just not happening right now, so we're going to move on. This is Oshiyama. That's the director guy, right? This is picking up a bunch of pages and then drawing. Okay, so this is one question that I have. Rarely have I seen drawing or writing in animation that looks like it's actually happening, and it really looks like it's happening here. How did they accomplish that? Were they like drawing with a Wacom on panel, on frame? At how? I don't know. It's kind of neat. It feels like it should be really trivial, but it's actually really difficult, isn't it? I don't know. And then there are some amazing facial expressions. Okay, this is Inoue. Oh, this is the running through the crowd scene. Cool. Yuya Geshi. Full scene is his work. This is the passing back. All the characters talking all at once is crazy. And then these facial expressions back and forth and back and forth. This is Ninuma. Looking back through the books. And then it becomes a panel itself. And then she's drawing. Draws that, and it tumbles out through the past. What a strange idea. Okay, this is both Oshiyama and Inoue. We've got 3 minutes here. Minute 54 is Oshiyama. The next half is Inoue, and then the end is Oshiyama. It's like, it's just an immense number of little shots of her tapping her foot and drawing and her hair. All of it without centering around the face, and then there's the discovery of the thing. And then the tension is like so overwhelming throughout this moment. Then it hits, and we fade to white, and we're in the past. It's simple. Looking at it out of context, it doesn't have the same impact on me. But in context, it is perfect. It's so understated, where there's this nervous energy that I think is driven by the tapping foot. There's this expectation that something bad is going to happen because of the news there. I remember that when I saw the news, I said, oh no. And then it took a couple minutes for that to blossom into what it's actually going to be, and for us to realize that this is a tragedy. Wow. Get the hell out of my room, sister. I love how things are lit. I cannot put my finger on it. But these like edge highlights and stuff, and these highlights in here, they're really distinct. They remind me a little bit of some of Shaft's styling, where you have these very flat designed characters that, but here they really pop with three-dimensionality. Right? Like these feathered light on, I don't know, it's cool. That's a cool framing too. I didn't even realize that. There are a bunch of things like that that I just didn't catch. Like the framing her inside the arm. It's brilliant. Looks like Toshiyuki Inoue is responsible for a shocking amount of this show. We drop. Is this where it tumbles through as well? Oof. Oh, the one man. Okay, Hidekazu Ohara is responsible for this fucking insanity. So, Hidekazu Ohara, have you worked on and or Panty and Stocking? Because that's what this reads as to me. So, no. CC Lemon, Nausicaa, Kavi, Slam Dunk, Ahira no Quack, Lazarus. This is like a classic animator. whose style seems to not look anything like this at all. Cool. Cool. Insane. Okay, this is Oshiyama's storyboard for the running scene. Panel 4, panel 7, panel 8, and then here it is glued together. There's so much interesting emotion to this scene. It might be my favorite of the episode. It might be like the standout moment to me. Puts it up, begins to draw, and that's where we leave off, is with that return to drawing as our answer. Critically after the statement, this isn't worth anything, this is worthless, all this does is bad stuff. This is Ninuma. Oh, wow, yeah, that face. Wow, yeah. Opening the door. The jacket. So many things that have associated meaning. Like, the meaning that we make out of things isn't inherent to those things. This jacket doesn't have any meaning. It's just a jacket with some scribbles on it. But it's a moment that we had with a person that we care about. And because of that, it has immense meaning. The way that the place you went on your first date with your wife of 20 years is important to you, even though it's not important at all, it becomes important. This space and the manga and the jacket, it's all infused with meaning. And that comes through to me because we get to see a bunch of those scenes. And so now I'm saying this because I caught myself. I said, like, looking up at the jacket, and I had an emotional response to that. And it's like, that's a jacket, man. Come on. But it's not just a jacket. That's a representation of our relationship, of our connection. It's so interesting how those meanings come back to our character and seem to inform where she goes from here. I think they do. This is our opening scene? Okay, it's crazy. This is Inoue again. It's crazy. Really, really beautiful. Then this scene is really lovely too. I just like the lighting. I just like the way that everything looks. It's really cool. Okay, Oshiyama. Is this a montage of us working together? Oh, nope, this has the sparkly run. That scene is so good. Does Oshiyama have credits on stuff before this? Oh. Flip Flappers, Look Back, Space Dandy, Deno Coil, Devilman Crybaby. This is from a Macross. Okay, so Oshiyama's been in the industry. He's not nobody. He just hasn't directed. Is that a mob site? Yeah. And a Flip Flappers. Oh, the ending credits. Space Dandy, some crazy shit. Some Evangelion. Okay, I did not realize that Oshiyama was so prolific. Inoue's work with Kiyotaka doing corrections. Oh man, this scene, we need dialogue, we need voice acting for it, because the voice actress does such a good job of this vibe of like, this person hasn't used their mouth in years to say things. They don't know how, almost. She's stumbling over things, but not in the way where she's just nervous, the way where it's unfamiliar and she's trying to like form the sounds wrong, almost. That was the way that it felt to me. So she draws on her. Tap, 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 tap. And there's this like, I don't really know that I want to be doing this kind of attitude that has to evolve over time into them being partners and friends and connected. Amazing. And like, weird, right? Like, not pretty. Yeah? Like, over the top, eyes too big, bursting out with emotion and not caring about it. And the show doesn't care either. We're happy to make this a little over the top, a little much. Instead of trying to be more reserved the way that anime, I think, tries to be really reserved a lot of the time. Instead of being really expressive. I really like the expressive side. It's much cooler. Okay, Inoue with the walking and then the slipping away. She looks back at her and then she slips away. Poof. What a fucking awful metaphor. Oshiyama Inoue. No surprise there, and some beauty. But only when you're looking back into the past. I really, really like this snow-covered walk. There's purpose and determination in it. I really like it. Oh, this is finding the house. The best part of this is the scramble at the end. Oh shit, I gotta go, I gotta get out! Slip, slide, and then she's being chased. Okay. Amazing faces on this guy, for sure. Reminds me a lot of some Chainsaw Man stuff. Horrifying. And then salvation. Boom. She gets to look at her. Oh, my hero. Ninuma. Oh, this is the I have to go my own way scene. You know, you've seen this scene before, right? It happens all over the place. I mean, it's Guts and Griffith, right? It's all over the place. It's a really powerful one. It's two characters that have become entangled, separating to follow their own paths, and there's a tension there. It's like, so you're gonna throw away us for you? But with the tree in the middle and the sunset hues, it feels like we're saying goodnight to this part of our story. And Fujino's not able to. And so the barbs come out. I wonder if there's any of this that's rotoed. There are elements of this movement that feel rotoscoped. They feel a little, or maybe like rotoed on 3D models. I'm not sure. It doesn't end well. And we part ways on not the best terms, you know? Not as best friends wishing each other the best in the future. The layers on this scene are crazy. We got the snail moving here. We got water bugs on the surface of the water. We got things underneath the water. We got stuff floating on the water. And we got reflections of plants in the water. And then we got reflections of the sky above that. And reflections of like butterflies and shit. And then our character walking through. This is wild. It's like 2 seconds. It's wild. And then the rest of the scene is beautiful too. Everybody telling her that she's so good at drawing and she was just looking at the better stuff. Better art. And this was the moment where I said, whoa, this is like really intricate. And strangely so, because there's a feeling of unrealism to lots of stuff, but then we have these backgrounds that are vibrantly and detailed in their animation. It's almost like it's a part of the point, is that we've got this thrust of characters that are characterized really well, but maybe not drawn in like super high fidelity. And we've got these backgrounds that are super high fidelity and realistic and beautiful. It's almost like they're an expression of the two characters. Just thought of that. Wonder if it's intentional. I have no idea. Through the crowd, with each other. Oh my gosh, and then the explosion. Ha! Good times. Yeah, these scenes of running through the streets are really beautiful. The like isolated color on them in the centers reminds me weirdly of Kimi no Nawa, but I don't think there's actually a scene like this in Kimi no Nawa. It just feels like it. It's romantic. It's beautiful, and we hone in on their hands clasped together tightly, not slipping out as they will be later. Okay, this is top cut in the episode. and it's the dancing through the rain sequence with all the smears in here. And then this big panning sequence. What the fuck? Following her down the road. And then this part, she's sort of stomping. She's like, "Row, go, go, ga." She's got a frown on her face, too. And then we sprint. It cuts off into go, 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 go. Okay, I can see all of this drawn by Tatsuki Fujimoto in a few panels. It's right on for what he looks like. But what really lands for me is the way her arms cut upward into the sky, and her eyes are closed. It's like every muscle, every neuron firing, striving for something, just to run, just to like put it all out there. This is an incredible expression of the human experience. And a part of what I think really makes it incredible is that I could not pinpoint what emotion she's feeling here. It's hers. I'm here watching. I get to observe, but I don't know what's happening in her mind. You know? It doesn't get said to me clearly. It's just shown, and I have to come up with my own definitions, my own explanations. And in that, like, uncertainty, I'm once again in dialogue with the show. I'm in conversation with it. I'm wondering at it. It's woven its way into me in a way that most shows do not come close to doing. Sparking curiosity, sparking wonder. Black Sakuga says it down here. Wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that covers our Sakuga brewing portion for today. Worthwhile. Worth the time. What a fucking movie thing. So we spin down into here, open on Bam, first kiss, drop into it, tell the story like Eizouken. It's absurd. Absolutely insane. It's about reincarnation and finding each other at the end, which is also such a Fujimoto fucky thing, is to make a piece of fiction in your story that actually tells the story of your story, but in a way that's imperceptible. Like, you can't tell that's what's going to happen. And even at the end, you have to, like, glue it together a little bit. But, like, with the Dead Explosion Mother stuff, it's all woven in through Goodbye Eri. And then there's something in Chainsaw Man too, and there's something in Fire Punch. But it's like this reincarnation after dying and not being able to be in love together. It's almost like that's what we're hoping for. It's like a reincarnation, a reset, a retry to wake up in a new world. But then in the story, an asteroid comes and destroys everything, right? Whack. Hilarious, but whack. This pan down is crazy cool because we really follow as though our angle changes. We're like looking this way at the desks. I don't know. So many faces. All of them unique, all of them expressive. And then hers stands out. Partly because she's got these kind of ugly bags under her eyes. But it characterizes her, right? She's up all day, every day, drawing. And she cares about it too, but she won't say that to anybody else. She won't admit that. She won't admit that it takes work, right? She's doing the like, make it look so easy thing, right? Oh, I just drew it in 5 minutes. I just knocked it out, you know, whatever. I'm just the best. When we saw her like slaving over it and really racking her brain about how do I make this as good as it can be. I guess they turned out pretty good despite that. Well, you could totally be a manga artist. Yeah, maybe, but that seemed boring. Can I give one to Kyomoto? I guess I don't mind. This in. And each layer, she's a little bit more gatekeepy. Little worse. Drawing would be hard for an amateur. I'm not sure she could handle it. And then, well, she's handled it. We drop into it, and it's like she's seeing these panels and then layering over her real knowledge of the school onto them. They breathe with life. Even though they're just these sketchy line drawings, you compare that to your sketchy ass line drawings and your stick figure, ball sports, and whatever. It's totally different. Amazing. Pro level drawings. Compared to hers, yours look average. Wow. All those cuts in as she gets full of herself and all these cuts out. And then we do something really weird. We transition to Unreal Space. Now it's a dream. This is the real wait, well, no. This is the real classroom. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 desks wide. We can go back. We can see it. It's a 5 desk wide classroom. But then we pull out. It's 6 wide. We pull out, it's 200 wide. Why? I don't know. She suddenly feels small. I don't know. It's a striking visual. It says something, but it says it in a language that's lost to me, right? I know that there was something said. In fact, I can hear the emotion in the voice of the scene. It's saying something. But I have to do work to figure out what it's saying. The show has the movie, the piece of work has barbs. You can't watch through it without getting caught on something and being like, wait, what is that? And it digs a little bit deeper into you and it hurts. But it gets under your skin for sure. Okay, there's our beautiful water bug scene. Walking. We have these flashes. You're the best. You're so good at this. And all of that. Stolen by comparison. Comparison is the thief of joy, they say. I see. She must be drawing while I'm going to school. Better than me? Unacceptable. Awesome. And so she gets a fire under her, right? It drives her. And this is our first interaction and the first way that these two have changed each other. Except that it's not. Because the real first way is that Fujino's work has been inspiring Kyomoto the entire time. I also think I called her Motoko at some point shortly ago. Sorry, I'll try to be better. Books. So what do we draw? What do we grab? Some great faces. Most importantly, just draw, baka! Flash, 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 and time is passing and passing fast. Anatomy, complete guide, basics, first time drawing. I wonder if I can find this book. I'm going to try to find this book. Well, if it's a real book with that title, I can't find it. The closest I have is Bridgman's Constructive Anatomy, which I have not cracked. I only got it a couple weeks ago, but I have not cracked it. Need to. It's very similar to a lot of the stuff. Probably should do that at some point. Also should probably do my draw box lessons and buckle down and do more of the basic skills learning, because there's a piece of where Fujino is at the beginning of this, drawing all these manga and getting praised for it, that I relate to. I don't have the praise situation, right? Like, I don't have people building me up like I'm more than I am, but I am kind of like still doing the same thing, you know? And every time I put some real effort into structured practice, like really trying to improve, it improves everything else that I do by leaps and bounds. And the only reason that I don't do it is because it takes time. The same sorts of like weird excuses that she gives here. Like, it takes a lot of time and it's tedious. but it's actually the thing that I love doing the most. And once I start, I never regret doing it. Just like going to the gym, it's a workout. I never regret doing it. I just need to structure it into myself better. Or to be inspired, perhaps, to find that drive that she finds in comparison, in envy, in jealousy, in feeling inadequate. It's amazing. And so we see piles and piles and piles of work, piles and piles and piles of increasingly more complicated sketches and studies, getting more and more detailed, becoming capable, becoming truly capable as a creative. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's a piece of what I aspire to. But she's given up something else to pursue it. Everything else. Connection, other people, friends. Are you still gonna draw? What? Yeah? Aren't you too old for that? You're weird. You draw. Everybody's gonna think you're a creepy otaku. So we get this social pressure to not do it. I gotta read some lyrics out loud. I'm sorry, this is a weird aside. There's a song by Aesop Rock, my favorite rapper, called Rings. It is explicitly and specifically about being an artist and giving it up, about losing touch with the art, slipping away from it, and just letting that artistic pursuit slip away from you, giving it up. Used to draw, hard to admit that I used to draw. Portraiture in the human form, doodle of a two-headed unicorn, it was soothing, moving his arm in a fusion of man-made tools and a muse from beyond. Even if it went beautifully wrong, it was tangible truth for a youth who refused to belong. No-name nuisance, stews in a bedroom, oozing a brand-new cuneiform, barely commune with the horde, got a whole grayscale ungluing his world. Might zone out to the yap of a magpie, unseen hand dragging his graphite, cross-contour, little bit of backlight, black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can't imagine the rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed into 2, then it's off to a school where it's all that you do, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York, 5 peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions free to maraud. I left some years a deer in the light. I left some will to spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been continuing, a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis, nap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's... I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Haunted by the thought of what I should have been continuing. A mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity. A man who used to draw, who used to create, who found beauty and truth, gloriousness in the grayscale, the rush in getting 3 dimensions stuffed into 2, and then let those fears materialize, let the skills deteriorate, and lets himself be haunted by the thought of what he should be continuing, what he should be doing. And I really relate to that, and I really relate that to this portion of Fujino's story, where she gets pressured not to draw, and eventually just does. Eventually just stops, gives it up, lets it be, pushes it away, and is fine. Everything's fine. Life goes on. She goes on. She's working and doing things with her friends, but she walks by the sketchbooks and they call to her. They're haunting her still. They're a ghost of her past that she's not looking at. You can't imagine the stars that align when a forearm starts foreshortening right, or a torso hung on a warping spine in proportion reads as warm and alive. Routine day with a dirt cheap brush, then a week goes by and it goes untouched, then 2, then 3, then a month, and the rest of your life you beat yourself up. I left some seasons eager to fall. I left some work to bury alive. I let my means of being dissolve. I let my person curl up and die. Just giving up that piece is a piece of you. And for Ace in this lyric, he calls it his means of being. As though without this, he could not be. He would not be. As though that person, the one who is artistic, he calls it his person. I let my person curl up and die. There's a person inside of me, and it could die, and I would still live on. How do you keep that person inside you alive? So we have pressure from the school friends. We get pressure from the sister. How long are you going to keep drawing? And this frame is amazing. Do something else. Join karate. Everybody's worried about you. You're not scoring well. You're cooped up in your room. Get out. Grrr, grrr. She sees it again. The comparison is stark. And at this point, she just gives up. Yameta. It's like, it's just defeated. What's the point? I give up. There's not even any, emotion to it. It's a slipping away. It's not like a deciding moment. I'm gonna go this way. I want to do karate. That's my call. It's not that. It's just a letting it slip away. I'm not on guard enough for that. For the slow decline, just letting things that you care about slip away from you. Finding easier ways or just avoiding them. It's especially easy. I'm just thinking about things that I've let slip away, and the first thing that comes to mind is reading for fun, reading fiction for fun. I don't do it anymore, nearly as much as I used to, and I was thinking, well, why is that actually? Why have I let that slip away? It is something I really value. I think the answer is because I have other things that are just higher valence that are constantly surrounding me. Media, YouTube, videos, podcasts, music, whatever. Just all sorts of things that are easier to reach for and be consumed by than to sit down with a book. But I've let it slip away like that, just without a fight. Yeah? Without a decision made. I never sat down and was like, I'm not going to read anymore. I would never do that. But in so many ways, I have made that decision over the past couple of years, slowly, gradually letting it slip out of my life. And now it feels like a challenge to bring it back. That's a challenge I need to take on. So she asks about ice cream, puts her books away, goes and joins karate, hangs out with her family, watches TV, has an ordinary life. And her ordinary life is haunted by the specter of herself. Could you throw these out too? Wow. Please drop this off at Kyomoto's. Dozens more sketchbooks. It's so important that they're the same sketchbooks. The scene doesn't land the same way if they had a different pattern on the cover. It really doesn't land the same way. There's something about working with the same materials as somebody else. It also makes it worse because it's oh, she's working with the same materials as I am and she's that much better than I am. But it's no, she's just an artist. She's just an artist like you. The two of you are in relation. We focus in on this scene in a way that doesn't make sense until the end of the movie, Because this is the moment that that changes everything. And it's the moment she's going to look back at and say, that's when I fucked up. I destroyed everything in this moment by drawing this little manga, this little joke about being a hikikomori and it falling under the door. And Kyomoto comes out, makes the connection. But then the real question, why did I draw that? Why did I draw that anyway? What an idiot I am. She asks this when she's crying, believing that she has killed her friend by drawing that manga years ago. Why did I do that? Why does she do it? She's given up art, right? I give up. I'm not doing that anymore. But she walks through this hallway of the person she hates, or thinks she hates, sees a blank panel and cannot help it. She cannot help it. She picks it up and she draws it. She draws on it. She cannot help it. It is who she is. It is what she does. It comes to life in her eyes and on the panel. And then it slips out of her hand. What am I even doing? Why am I doing this? It slips out of her hand, beautifully tumbles down, goes under, and we're running. Here's your diploma. Bye. Have a great life. And then we lock into the POV of slapping bare feet. She barges out and calls her sensei. Better than me. It's really like she doesn't remember how to speak, almost. The signature's so crazy. These little, like, freak out into little smiles are what warmed my heart for this character. Like, these sell me on her really powerfully. And that's Fujimoto knowledge, right? That's Fujimoto's ability to tap into facial expressions and what they do to the audience. Not just what they express, but what they make you feel. Like, there's a total difference between being able to recognize that the character on screen is feeling sad versus seeing them feeling sad, making me feel sad. Because what Fujimoto can do is he can make it so that I'm watching them and they're feeling sad and I feel angry because somebody made them sad. Or I feel like that's hilarious because they're sad in the wrong context or something like that, right? I'm not necessarily in alignment 100% with them. There are multiple layers of dialogue going on. Layer of like, what are they feeling? And then what does that make me feel? In this case, this little smile is her feeling like, oh, maybe I do have an ability to connect to this person. But what it makes me feel is, oh, wow, this human deserves head pats. Please head pat this human, right? She's talking about the exact panels, exact pages, because she's scrapbooked them. She's totally impressed that she finishes her panels, right? Everything keeps getting better. You're a manga genius, and she's just nonplussed, in part because she doesn't believe it. Why did you stop? We have this moment of hesitation. Will she tell the truth? And she lies. But then she does something really cool. She goes and makes the lie a reality. Yeah? How interesting. Because it's a lie to save face, to keep her position of being better than you, right? Like, I wouldn't give up being a mangaka. I'm just moving on to the next better level. But she has given up. And now in this moment, she decides not to have given up. And in part because we skipped the portion in between where they talk about it or discuss it at all, it remains a fully open question. Why exactly does Fujino return to manga? Just because she's being admired by Kyomoto? Maybe. A competition? What a face. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see. I want to see it. Well, I mean, it's just in my head. I want to see it. I want to see. I could show you when it's done. It's raining. I should go. See ya. Bye. We pull out. We walk, jump, prance, dance, grunt, and stomp. With triumphant building horns and stuff. I do not have a read on this scene. It is one of the most emotionally expressive scenes that I have ever seen, and I cannot pinpoint the emotion at all. It's like frustration and blossoming, opening up, and fighting with herself. It's so much. And then is that a cry? Is it a cry or a laugh? What is she feeling? So much that she can't express it. She has to run. Human. Weird. Weird, but weirdly real. So she rushes and she's drawing. And she doesn't fucking stop. She goes home. I thought she was walking over. I thought we were doing it was like after school, and then she was walking over to Kiyomoto's house, and then we were going to figure this out the next day. But instead, Tadaima, I'm home. And she walks in here, and Kiyomoto's home as well. They're working together. I don't go to school, so it's a piece of cake. She's doing the backgrounds. Doesn't feel like we'll ever finish, so we montage forward, and then they have finished. They're off to Tokyo to get it published. The attitudes are totally different. The reflections on the walls are really cool. Not only do they get it published, but they get second. They get runner-up. I wasn't sure how to feel about those time skips at first, but I really like them. They keep things concise, obviously, by skipping a bunch of time. But the skip here from here to we're working together sort of lets us skip over what's going on inside Fujino's head. That part that's still a question to me remains a question. I think that's kind of cool. 13-year-old duo takes runner-up. Crazy! Good job. Ta-da! Jajan! We're gonna draw more and make loads of money anyway. I love that attitude. So we do these montage through enjoying time together, spending money. And is it here that she sees the book? No. But we're gluing the characters together, right? I mean, they were just kind of enemies in Fujino's mind a moment ago in terms of showtime. So we have to glue them together. Boy, oh boy, we glued them together. I think it was at this point where I started going, what the hell is going to go horribly wrong? Turns out I was right. I'm glad I came out of my room. Stopped going because I was scared of people. But I had a really good time today. She really reminds me, in this moment, of Reze. Maybe it's particular facial features, maybe it's just that it's Tatsuki Fujimoto drawing a character, but she really reminds me of Reze here. Thank you for getting me out of my room. Childhood together. I mean, that's what this scene says. It says childhood together. Like, childhood is now associated with Kiyomoto. Togetherness. So they keep making and making, being inspired by the world around them. And we're montaging through, like 5 years of their lives, because we're going to be moving right up to them being 17, 18. And we're running and we're running and our hands slip. She can't catch. She can't keep up. She becomes enamored with background art and wants to be better. So, right after the serialization announcement, she's off to the side, not able to talk it through. So she finally confronts her. I want to go to art school. I want to go a different direction. What is this all of a sudden? Well, it's fine, I guess. You're not that important anyway. You only draw the backgrounds. I can just get assistants to handle it. But she's heartbroken. She knows that that's not the way it is. She's kind of trying to, prevent herself from getting hurt by hurting back. It's like being spiky in return. kind of like putting her down, right? Well, you only do the background art, so it doesn't really matter anyway. It's not that big a deal. But it is that big a deal. But there's no point in going. She tries finally to dissuade her. No job prospects. Yeah, I know. And you'll have to talk to lots of strangers. It'll be hard. Yeah, but I want it. But I need it. Don't do that. Just stick with me and everything will work out. But she's decided. I want to try living on my own without having to rely on you. And what Fujino didn't realize until this moment, that she's come to rely on Kyomoto, right? You're gonna have a terrible time. And it's gonna be bad and you're gonna fail and die. You can't do it. But I want to get better at drawing. Simple. Simple as that. The same thing that had Fujino running and screaming. It's like at the center of the show is that. I want to get better at drawing. Why? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It drives the person. It's their person. It's their means of being. And that's so much of what this movie with these 58 minutes are saying is like, that thing, follow it. Even if it goes bad and tragically and terribly, follow it. Even if you lose everything and blame it on that, you'll come back to it because it's your means of being. It's your life. But that's just what I'm reading into it because it refuses to be pinned down and crystal clear. I come away with that and with the knowledge that I might watch this in a year and have a totally different take on what it means. And that many of you might have totally different takes on what it means. I think it's really cool. God, that is a big fucking tablet. Those are so freaking expensive. So, I love thrift stores. I Goodwill all the time. And I also use their online shop Goodwill. A few months ago, I actually saw this pop up on Shop Goodwill. And this is the smaller version of that. This is a Wacom Intuos Pro. I've used it a little bit. But I'm still working on real media and stuff. I haven't transitioned over to digital and don't know if I will at any point. But I have this thing and maybe I'll end up using it in videos at some point in the future. I don't make nearly enough use out of it, but I got it for like $25. So for a $1,000+ computer, it's literally a full computer. It's kind of amazing. Ugh, really major lucky deal. But the reason I wanted to grab it is because like, this one's 1,000, right? You can see how big it is. It's like, it's the size of my torso, basically. That one's like the biggest one. It's huge. How much are those? A fucking lot is how much they are. But if it's your profession, it makes sense. Shark Kick! Shark Kick is really funny. It has weird Chainsaw Man vibes, especially with the covers and the coloration on them. It's really funny. And it goes on. It starts to really hit. It starts to really boom. It's working and working. Ah! All that tedium that she talked about being a mangaka has come true. But it is what she wants to do, right? We've gone from uncertain to really kicking off. I wonder what happened at 11. That it got ranked #1 and got an anime? Yeah. Wow. So here we are. She's talking about assistants that aren't good enough, right? And so our audience mind is immediately on Kyomoto. How are they going to reconnect, right? Because that's the coming to fruition of the story that we've been telling here, is that we've split our ways, and she'll be like, I can't find any good assistants. If only I could have Kyomoto back. I didn't actually mean it that you just draw the backgrounds and aren't that important. You're so important to me. Why don't we be friends and fall in love and have babies? And This is the setup for that, right? Their assistants aren't following through. And then the news. Goddamn news, man. Acts like weapon. It's her. She calls. No answer. Gets the call from mom. And the news is dropped, obviously. We'll both improve. Keep your eyes on my back and you'll grow too. And that hope, that dream of the future of like maybe we could reconnect, is gone. That's really scary. Sometimes we, say our goodbyes to someone with the total expectation that our lives will become intertwined once more, like we'll meet again. And then something happens in the world that takes that possibility away. It's really scary. Makes me think that it's really important not to say goodbye to people if you don't want to say goodbye to them. And it makes me think about a couple of relationships in my own life that are up in the air, uncertain. Like, I don't know if I'll ever be able to reconnect with my father. At this point, he's essentially no contact to me, so I don't know. And it scares me immensely that he's going to get hit by a bus, and I'll never get that chance. Scares the shit out of me. Is leaving things unfulfilled. Like stories that get started and should have an ending and don't get to have an ending because the world is tragic. That's what this is like. Because our setup is these two characters go different ways to improve on their individual skills, and there's tension in it, but they do it, and having improved and actualized and found themselves as themselves, they come together and find each other and can become a unit and blow the socks off the world with their amazingness. And instead, the world takes it all away. Woof. In a random act of cruelty, of violence, of retribution against somebody else, right? Retribution as an art school, against art school for stealing, for plagiarizing. Which feels like it's woven in somehow to Fujimoto's own experience as a mangaka, but I don't know. So much of this feels like it's from lived experience, just translated into characters that are fictional, like warped and altered. This is an incredibly striking face. The hair out of place, the sketches all over, and the way they sort of like bleed over into the eyes, as though the eyes have become flat, as opposed to, the texture of the skin around my eye and my eye are very different, and that's how you can tell that my eye is shiny and orbular and, has a different tone to it. Here, her eyes have flattened. They're as matte as her skin and have the sketches all over them. She looks like a desiccated corpse. It's incredible. Just clip that. She looks like a desiccated corpse. It's incredible. But it is. She looks like all the life just got sucked out of her. The art that I posted was plagiarized. Got it. Shark kick on hiatus. Tragedy. So she goes to her house. Right up to the door. Sees that she's been reading Shark Kick. And ends up reading through her own work until she hits the bookmark. The empty panels. The blank page. No, it's not blank. It's the one from before. Sorry, the blank one will be later. And then blames herself for this. Come out, come out. If I hadn't asked her to come outside, she wouldn't be dead. My brain jumps to, if you hadn't prompted her to come outside, she would never have lived. I said it at one point during this that she might be dead already. My mind was going to suicide, was feeling like her life feels really empty and friendless. It could be really bad. But that doesn't seem right. I would like to retcon that, pull that back. I don't think that's accurate. But to say that she never would have lived, or it's likely she never would have lived, and would have still ended up in the same place. That feels more like it. You can't survive life afraid of an axe murderer around every corner. Oh, if I go to the grocery store today, there might be an axe murderer. It doesn't work. You have to fight for and pursue what you're going to pursue, regardless of the goddamn axe murderer. She drops the book. Boom. It's my fault. It's because I drew this manga that day. She died because of me. If I hadn't, she wouldn't have. Why did I draw this? Why did you draw this in the first place? Like a little joke about Kyomoto. Why did you draw this in the first place? Why would you do such a thing? It's who you are, right? That's the best answer that I have. It's who she is. She did that drawing in a moment when she had separated herself from drawing, and yet she couldn't help it. The blank page called to her. Drawing is completely useless. It's so cool. It's a little like Dostoevsky. It's so weird. Weird to say. It's so cool to have an author who I've read a couple of works by, and I think I have something of an understanding of Tatsuki Fujimoto's respect for art, respect for drawing, respect for movies. So for him to create a scene, a moment, a place for his character where she says the polar opposite of what I think he actually believes is really cool. Because you get to have those words stated and then argued against, right? It opens a dialogue inside the show as well as with us, the audience. I bring up Dostoevsky because Dostoevsky is known for creating characters who exemplify particular ideals, some of them very flawed ideals, and then arguing against them over the course of the story. And this is kind of like a much more concise version of that. I've come to this point. I killed my friend with a drawing, her logic goes. Drawing is completely useless and only bad, and I wish I had never done any of it. So she tears it up, and the scrap just at the top, just the first part, none of the rest of the story, none of the serial, none of the manga of it, slips under the door in the past. This is crazy. It's so much like Goodbye Eri in this weird supernatural layer that you're not sure is supernatural, but it has to be, or it's dream, or it's story breaking outside the bounds of what we thought the story was doing, which is telling us a concise, clear, exact depiction of the events that are occurring with a little bit of room for emotional wibble wobble. Maybe we're not doing that. Maybe this is expressive and symbolic. Maybe it's not algebraic and precise, you know? Don't come out. So she stops, freaks out, doesn't come out. Must be a ghost. And then we montage. She draws still. She never stops. She still finds that book. Ends up in that library for some reason. Finds the book, becomes enamored with art school, and goes. The paint on stuff, it's so cool to have animated. It's so cool. And then the axe murderer shows up, and we're in manga panels. Right? These are panels. 1 panel, 2 panel, 3 panel. You know, like, these are panels. Know the students nearby. A man enters. He's really twisted. He's really off. I mean, the way he can't even... Then he goes for the second swing, and our hero appears. A hero appears! My hero! Please, can I have your phone? Realizes the name. What a coincidence. Why did you quit? And she says, I recently started again. Be my assistant. We get that smile, close the door, leave her behind. She's happily running through, looking back at the panels from the past. We're paneling her in manga. She finds an empty one, draws a little thing in it. It slips under the door and is back into the future. Yeah, it doesn't compute. Because, like, the best explanation that I have is that whole scene is Fujino imagining Kyomoto's survival in a different world when they didn't connect. But you can't change that. They did connect. She did go to art school, and she did get killed. Right? So somehow this comes through the ether. Wait, it's blank when she puts it up on the wall in front of her, isn't it? This is what she's projecting onto the panels? There's no wait, there is a scrap of paper. Fuck, I don't know. I have no idea. There is a scrap of paper. It was taped on the window above Kyomoto's desk, right? It blew off the window and blew under the door. Was it a blank panel? 4 blank panels? That would be really cool. If Fujino is currently imagining that this was drawn by Kyomoto post-survival, and what it really is just a piece of paper that's drifted off the window, and she takes the blank page and puts that up as the symbol of her friend, that would be really cool. I don't know if that's what's going on. Look Back by Kyomoto. She opens the door. It's a dark void, which is freaky. And then it's an open window and exactly as it was left. There's one missing from up there, huh? But they all have drawings on them. So it wouldn't be a blank panel. And it's not the end either. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. For starters, I don't even like it. So why? Drawing isn't for me. Then why do you draw? Why do you draw? Why do you draw? Why do you draw, Fujino? Why do any of us draw? She reads her own work, to be continued, it says, and that's when she's crying. She's not continuing. Because she's haunted by it. Because she cannot abide a blank page. I don't know why I'm crying. Like she's half dead, she stumbles to the door, but then she's walking with purpose. Puts that panel up. It looks like it's blank, man. It looks like it's completely blank. And we leave off with her drawing endlessly into the future. Like she'll never stop. At the end, the question doesn't get answered. Why do you draw? Almost like it doesn't need to be answered. She is an artist. She draws. Keep drawing, Fujino. That was an experience. I feel like my heart's been ripped out of my chest. And then sewn back in. And I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that art exists, and I'm grateful that art like this exists. This is challenging. I feel challenged by it in a way that a lot of the media that we've been interacting with recently hasn't been, like, trying to challenge its viewer. This feels like it's trying to challenge me. It's trying to challenge me and be like, so what are you giving up that you shouldn't be giving up? What do you turn away from because of comparison, because you've lost your joy in it? What have you let slip away from you that feeds you, that makes you come alive? What can you not help yourself from doing when there's a blank space or a blank page? What do you fill it with? What do you feel compelled to fill it with? Words or scribbles or whatever, it doesn't matter. Like, the blank page is your life. It's your future. It's your time. It's your existence on this planet, in this universe. It's the only one you get. What are you going to fill it with? What will make it worthwhile? What, even if you regret the tragedies of life, what will you come back to? What will keep you alive through those? For Fujimoto, it's obvious that the answer is art. The answer is drawing. That he wrote and drew Fujino this way because he's this way. Right? And so it's like it's a message to himself in the future. Remember, this matters. Remember, this is important. Remember, don't stop. Remember, keep drawing, keep improving, keep getting better, keep striving, keep running, keep drawing, Fujino. Good film. Thanks for watching it with me. For a one-off, this is pretty special. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to watch these pieces of media, to engage with them. And then beyond that, the ability to share that engagement, to share my experience of experiencing this thing and my thoughts as we went through it with all of you. I hope that they've been helpful. I hope that they've been useful or valuable or said something to you or shared something. I hope that by doing this, I've expanded the dialogue that I feel is happening between myself and this author I've never met who doesn't know that I exist, and probably for the better. I hope that I can take that dialogue and expand it out and expand it to you and bring you into it and have some of your insights and your answers to some of the questions that have been posed by this show and by me in relation to it. If you do have thoughts or something you need to share, there's a blank panel right down there in the comments, and I welcome you to join us and communicate what you have to say, because there will be other people watching this who might need to hear your words as much as they need to hear these words. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate y'all. I really appreciate art. I'm so glad that we live in a world and we live as creatures that create things. It's amazing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Much love. Peace.